before you work on any AC, always pull your disconnect. This one was running, so we know that that was the right one. But to double check, you go over and check your power at the contactor. On your contactor, the bottom post coming in is going to be your power from your disconnect. You want to check that, make sure you have nothing there. I have nothing there. I'm going to check the top just to verify that there's nothing coming through. I have nothing there. So right now our contactor is pulled in, which is telling me that our thermostat is calling for cooling. So on each side of that contactor you have two spades, on the left side and the right side. That is your 24 volts from your thermostat. So this is your capacitor. This one here is a 45.5 UF plus or minus 5%. That is what you can be above or below. This is a 440 volt alternating current capacitor. First thing you want to do before you unhook any wires, take your phone out, take a picture of it so you remember which way the wires go. Unhook your wires. Be careful not to have wires touching anything, because with your thermostat calling, you could still pop a fuse if you touch those wires. Now I'm going to take a screwdriver and go between my posts, try to discharge that capacitor, that way you don't get electrocuted. So we know this is with a 45.5, so with this capacitor we're going to test from our fan, which is right here, which is sometimes it's usually a single post, our common, and our hermetic. Our hermetic is our compressor. So from here we're going to go from fan to common. Fan to common is always going to be your lower number. That one is 4.8. That is within reason of our 5 that we need to be at. Next, I'm going to go from hermetic to common. And that's at 41.73. That is within the range, but it is getting weak. So this is a capacitor that we may want to think about replacing in the future. Very important, when you guys put these back in, you always want to put your band back in, because this can cause a hazard. There it is. If you don't have the right size band, get you some plumbing strap, metal, and make your own. So on here, this is just a basic system. So I know that these two wires going into my lugs that are screwed in are going to my compressor. And on top of that, my wire going to my hermetic is going to my compressor as well. So I will pull that hermetic spade off of my capacitor, and then I will pull both of these red and black wires off. Of course, these ones. Now that I have my 3 wires, these are going to be my 3 wires going to my compressor. You can verify it's a red, black, and orange by looking down at your compressor and look at the wires that's coming out of your compressor. So first I'm going to check my black. And my orange. My black and my orange, I'm getting 2.4. Then I'm going to check my black and my red. I'm getting 1.2. Now, if it's right, the sum of my red and my orange should equal up what the other two numbers were. I'm getting 3.5. So I'm right there within limit.
Yep.
So next I'm going to switch my meter to continuity. Allows it to beat. It'll also give me my ohm reading. I'm going to come down here, find a piece of copper, and I'm going to scratch it till it's nice and clean and shiny. You can use a knife, you can use a screwdriver, you can use the end of your lead. Whatever gets a nice shiny piece of clean copper there for you. I'm going to leave one lead always on that copper. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to touch each one of these leads. It should say OL on every lead. If not, we know we have a grounded out winding. Or if you hear it beep. So to my red right here, I have an OL. To my orange, I have an OL. To my black, I have an OL. I know this compressor is good.
Yep.
Alright, so for the fan here, it's going to be very similar to how we did the compressor. We're going to find our 3 fan wires. 2 of them will be in your capacitor. 1 will be on the control board down here inside the unit. This one happens to be a black, a brown, and a purple. It's not always going to be the same colors, so sometimes you'll have to track them back. And I'm going to go from 1 to 1 all the way through. So on that one I have 25.2. On there I have 56.8. Now if I'm correct, the sum of these two here should equal out the sum of the first two. I'm at 81.9, so that's right there within that range.